You have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. 800-292-7875.
China's government staging a major trade exhibition to sell the communist country as an investment partner. The BBC's Stephen McDonnell in Beijing.
Notable amongst exhibitors is the U.S. soybean industry, which now hopes to ramp up exports to China following commitments made when Xi Jinping met Donald Trump last week. Major American corporations are also here, attempting to increase sales into China during this period of trade war détente. Car brands Ford and General Motors, tech companies like Boston Scientific, as well as semiconductor producer Qualcomm, all have a presence at the expo. When Premier Li Qiang launched the event today, he spoke of the severe impact which protectionist measures have had on the global economy recently, but said Beijing would work to make trade rules fairer, more reasonable and transparent.
The Grand Egyptian Museum, a billion-dollar project, has opened its doors to the public following an extravagant inaugural ceremony. Townhall.com. Australia is adding Reddit and Kik to its list of social media platforms that must ban kids under 16 from having accounts.
Communications Minister Annika Wells said Wednesday the platforms will join others like Facebook and TikTok in enforcing this rule starting December 10th. Platforms failing to comply could face fines up to $33 million. Australia's e-safety commissioner Julie Inman-Grant will enforce the ban, which aims to protect children online. The move's being closely watched by other countries concerned about social media's impact on young users. Keith Peters, Washington.
President Trump will be heading to Miami to speak on the anniversary of his election to a second term. Mr. Trump will address a forum of business leaders and global athletes. He plans to discuss his economic agenda and recent trade and investment deals made on his trip to Asia. More on these stories, townhall.com.
It's the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, broadcasting live from downtown Nashville. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
And welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. We are broadcasting live from our studios in Nashville, Tennessee, and we are delighted to have you here with us today. It's time for the Morning Rundown, which we bring you every morning at this time, brought to you by our friends at the Glock Store, glockstore.com, located just a few miles from the airport, right here in Nashville, Tennessee. So here we go. Here's the Morning Rundown for Wednesday, November 5th, 2025. Number one, election results in blue states and blue cities last night were very good for what is now the Communist Party of America, formerly known as the party of Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and John F. Kennedy, formerly known as the Democrat Party. It is officially the Communist Party today. Number two, the Muslim Marxist from Manhattan, Zoran Mamdani, easily won the mayoral race in New York City, 51-41 over the actual Democrat, or what used to be a Democrat, Andrew Cuomo. Get this, 75% of voters under the age of 30 voted for the Muslim Marxist Mamdani for mayor. What's that tell you? Oh, wait till you see the gender breakdown on that. Yikes. Number three, Democrat sweep in Virginia and New Jersey. Spanberger won the gubernatorial race by 15 in Virginia. And the Democrat Attorney General candidate who texted about killing a Republican rival and that rival's children won the Attorney General race by 6 points. We will talk with Phil Klein about that after the break. He's a former Attorney General in Kansas, now a professor of law at Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia. What else do we have? Oh, yeah. And in the Democrat won easily in New Jersey by 13 points. Mikey Sherrill beat Jack Ciattarelli. Number four, on the shutdown, do we have a deal brewing? We'll talk about that. Number five, a Tennessee poll just came out from the Beacon Center. Marsha Blackburn up big in the governor's race, 58% for her, 9% for John Rose, 5% for Monty Fritz. I think John Rose has spent like $5 million so far, and he's got 9%. Monty Fritz has spent about $5 so far. He's got 5%, so he's getting bang for his buck, and John Rose is not. Number six, The impeachment drumbeat continues for the leftist activist judge James Boasberg in Washington, D.C. We'll have a lot about that. Number 7, at the bottom of this hour, State Senator Brent Taylor will give us an update on what's going on with the National Guard in Memphis. Number 8, Johnny Garrett, running for Congress in the 6th District here in Tennessee, will be here in hour 2. Number 9, in the second part of hour 2, you will get my analysis of the meaning of this, communist rout of Republicans in blue states last night. And then number 10, the very best Trump impersonator in the world, the one, the only, Sean Farash, will join us in hour 3. Okay, this is the time I like talking about my friend Lenny McGill at the Glock Store. The Glock Store has been a sponsor of the Michael Patrick Leahy Show for years now, even before it was the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. And I've been lucky enough to go to every one of their incredible yearly Glock Store open houses. This year, Glock Store has set their sights on Black Friday. That's what, the day after Thanksgiving, shoppers tell me. It's an event you're going to want to try and attend from wherever you reside, anywhere in the United States. The details are just coming together, but if I had to guess, I'm just going to guess, I'm thinking huge discounts on everything, including Glocks, tons of giveaways, great food trucks, yum, maybe some live music, and tons of giveaways. Yeah, did I mention that? Tons of giveaways. No one gives stuff away like the Glock Store. Now, of course, all the great Black Friday deals will also be available online, but the real party will be at the Glock Store, glockstore.com, right here in Nashville, Tennessee. That's the Black Friday celebration from Lenny McGill, the founder and CEO of the Glock Store, at the one and only Glock Store, minutes from the Nashville airport and worth the drive from anywhere, especially this Black Friday. So there you go. That's the morning rundown and our sponsorship by the Glock Store. Now, buckle up, buttercups, because we're in for a rough ride. And the rough ride is the communists have taken over the Democrat Party. Let's see who Zoran Mamdani, who was, braggadocious and aggressive and nasty and angry in his acceptance speech, an announcement of victory last night. Let's play this clip. Clip 1. Who did he credit for this?
Thank you to those so often forgotten by the politics of our city who made this movement their own. I speak of Yemeni bodega owners and Mexican abuelas, Senegalese taxi drivers and Uzbek nurses, Trinidadian line cooks and Ethiopian aunties. Yes, aunties. To every New Yorker in Kensington and Midwood and Hunts Point.
Okay, so what's he saying? He's in your face. Yeah, foreign-born, 36% of the population of New York. I think it was a higher percentage of voters. And how many of them are illegal? A lot, probably. He's saying the people who have not assimilated to the United States are the ones that are running New York City now. This has been part of their plan for a long time. The problem is, many problems with this. We have a bunch of young brains full of mush who voted for Mamdani. Here is the Fox News analysis, clip 21 on this.
Okay, this year Fox News is debuting a new way to understand tonight's election results. The Fox News voter poll. It's the data that covers really thousands of voters who cast ballots early on election day by mail and in person. Sandra Smith has been crunching those numbers. Hey, Sandra.
In some of the key groups that we're seeing behind the vote, really telling the story here in New York City, when you break it down by age of the voter, the youth vote overwhelmingly went for Mamdani in this race. 75% of their support went to him. And when you break this down into gender, that number gets even bigger. The female youth vote, women under the age of 30, you break that down, that number goes over 80% support for Mamdani in this race. Other key findings that we're finding in the New York City mayoral race, what qualities were voters looking for in their candidate?
Okay, so let's go. So young women, particularly in New York City, have brains full of mush and have been propagandized. No surprise there if you look at the public schools, and all that sort of stuff. Who did he credit? What historical figure did he mention thanking him? Was it Thomas Jefferson? No. Was it what was it James Madison? No. Was it Franklin Delano Roosevelt? No. Was it John F. Kennedy? No. It was the socialist Eugene Debs. Clip 4.
The sun may have set over our city this evening, but as Eugene Debs once said, I can see the dawn of a better day for humanity. For as long as we can remember, the working people of New York have been...
Okay, so the guy's a communist. He's a socialist. Eugene Debs ran for president in 1920. He was spouting off all this socialist crap. And that's what, the brains full of mush, particularly the young brains full of mush in New York City are going for. What's the problem there? I'm just going to tell you that our young kids around the country have been propagandized. That's why, folks, I'm going to tell you this more. That's why we're relaunching the National Constitution Bee for high school students so that they'll understand the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Our public schools aren't doing it. We're going to have to do it. New York City may be lost, but Tennessee, you can save Tennessee. Back with Phil Klein after this.
Attorney General Miyares and John Fredericks talk about skill games.
They're unregulated slot machines.
They pop up in 7-Elevens in every corner of Virginia.
The General Assembly has spoken on this.
Skill games.
These things are illegal.
It's the Wild Wild West. Fights break out. Robberies increase.
Skill games.
They prey on the less fortunate.
I say it's a tax on the poor.
They're breaking the law.
My job is to enforce the law. These machines are not allowed.
Enforce the law and get them out of there.
When you see skill games, call the local sheriff.
These things are illegal.
Paid for by Churchill Downs.
1775 Coffee is giving away free starter kits. Try the dark or medium roast coffee with longevity blend, an infused blend with anti-aging calcium alpha-ketoglutarate, which has been clinically proven to reduce biological age. When you purchase the first 2 bags, you'll receive a free 1775 starter kit, including a third 16-ounce bag of coffee, a matte black tumbler, a frother, a gold scoop, or a reusable K-cup filter. Just order now at 1775coffee.com/Godzilla and claim your free 1775 starter kit while supplies last.
Why is Purple Wave Auction the fastest growing heavy equipment marketplace? Our full service online auctions take the hassle out of buying and selling farm, construction, and fleet equipment. Thousands of business owners partner with Purple Wave each month to manage their equipment. Sellers count on our experienced professionals to handle the marketing, paperwork, and payments. And bidders trust in a marketplace free of reserves and hidden fees. Purple Wave is the turnkey online auction service you've been looking for. Purple Wave Auction. Straight, simple, sold.
Is your pet ready for some pawsome fun? At Creekside Pet Hotel in Kennesaw, every day is a tail-wagging adventure. Whether they're romping with friends in day camp, enjoying a staycation in our cozy boarding, or getting pampered in our luxury spa, we make sure every furry guest gets the royal treatment. Happy pets, wagging tails, and the best care. What more could they ask for? Book your pet's perfect getaway today at creeksidepethotel.com or give us a call at 770-422-4700.
Cold weather will be here before you know it. At the same time, power outages are on the rise. So here's an important question. If the power goes out when it's really cold, do you have a way to stay warm? If not, you've got to check out the Avesta off-grid space heater from My Patriot Supply. It's a compact, portable space heater that doesn't use electricity. It runs on something called canned heat, which is an indoor safe fuel. It's completely off-grid, and it can heat up a 200 square foot room in a matter of minutes. With Avesta stashed in your closet, you can rest easy, knowing you and your family will stay warm, even if the power goes out. Plus, it doubles as a stove to boil water or cook food without electricity or propane. The best part is, you can get Avesta and a bunch of other free gifts when you order the Winter Prep Special from My Patriot Supply. Just go to mypatriotsupply.com to see everything included. This offer won't last long, and neither will this nice fall weather, so go to mypatriotsupply.com today. That's mypatriotsupply.com.
I'm Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of Glockstore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported the Second Amendment rights of free men and women to protect themselves and their families with firearms. We offer the very best in both selection and prices on Glock handguns, custom Glocks, Glock magazines, and high-performance shooting accessories at Glockstore.com. We also have the finest retail showroom and our Shoot 270 shoot rooms right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Come visit us at Glockstore.com, and you'll be glad you did.
This is State Senator Mark Pody. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pody.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pody, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
Now more than ever, President Trump needs battle-tested conservatives fighting alongside him to save our country. That's why Trump endorsed Matt Van Epps for Congress. West Point grad, 9 combat tours, decorated Army vet. Matt Van Epps has devoted his life to defending America and the conservative values we cherish. Endorsed by Trump, fearless conservative. Tennessee's Matt Van Epps for Congress. School Freedom Fund is responsible for the content of this ad.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
We are joined on our Newsmaker line by our very good friend for many years, who is uniquely qualified to talk about the electoral disaster last night in the state of Virginia. Phil Klein, welcome to our program.
Good to be with you, Michael.
Phil, your unique qualifications to talk about the election in Virginia are the following. You have had electoral success as a state representative in the state of Kansas. You were elected and served as the Attorney General for the state of Kansas. You now reside in the state of Virginia, where you are a professor of law at Liberty University Law School. Well, last night, I wasn't shocked that Abigail Spanberger, the far leftist, won the governor's race in Virginia over Winsome Earl Sears by about 15 points. I wasn't shocked that John Reed was defeated by a Muslim woman to be lieutenant governor by about 9 or 10 points. And I wasn't shocked that Jason Myers was not reelected, the Republican, as Attorney General. I thought it would be very close. But the margin, Phil, the margin by which Jay Jones, the 36-year-old Democrat nominee, now the Attorney General-elect in Virginia, defeated the very solid Republican Attorney General, Jason Myers, 6.5 points of victory, an easy victory for Jay Jones, who has a very troubled record in terms of threatening via text message, talking about killing a Republican rival, talking about killing the children of that rival, and then all sorts of other, traffic problems and speeding problems, special treatment. Phil, please, can you make sense of this for me?
Well, Michael, the thing that you didn't mention is I'm uniquely qualified to speak about this because in my reelect for Attorney General in 2006, it was one of the first efforts by the left's billionaire club to defeat a candidate, and that was myself. And they did it through technology and micro-targeting. And what I mean by that is they were developing all the way back in 2006, and I'm going to speak to a 2007 memo here in a minute involving leftist billionaires. But in 2006, when the technology was relatively new, they organized in Kansas a campaign to defeat me, and that campaign was actually operated outside of the Democratic candidates campaign by nonprofits and third-party billionaires who reached out to voters. I would be sitting in my office as Attorney General, and I'd get a phone call from a constituent who said, I voted for you last time, but I'm not voting for you this time because I understand that you're impacting this zoning in my community with some of your rulings. And I'm saying, wait a minute, that's not true. And I didn't know that message was going out because it wasn't on TV, it wasn't on radio. It was through direct messages to those voters through micro-targeting and computer strategies that were not known very well at the time. Now, what Republican consultants are ignoring once again, I've been preaching this for 20 years now, that we need to go local. We need to get a structure in place through various cutouts and nonprofits to identify and turn out voters just like the left has. Or we need to eliminate nonprofit status because there's a multi-billionaire apparatus already in place for Democratic candidates to turn out the vote and micromanage. In the AG's race, Jay Jones won Election Day by about 6.5 points. He won absentee balloting by 10 points. He won early person balloting by 15 points. And this apparatus not only affects early voting, but it is also the messaging that motivates and turns out people on Election Day. And you're not going to see it in campaign finance reports. It's all hidden through nonprofit spending. And leftist billionaires, here's a memo from John Podesta to George Soros in 2007 regarding Obama's campaign. And he says, I need over $230 million now to flow through various nonprofits to match union funding to turn out voters on Election Day. And they wrote the check. Mm-hmm. That today is about close to $1 billion just from that one memo. And that doesn't reflect all of the other funding that they received previous to support them in that 2008 election. When we looked at the 2020 election, we saw a shadow government running elections that alone had about $2 to $3 billion of nonprofit money running the elections in election offices in the urban core to the benefit of Joe Biden's campaign. That doesn't include the nonprofits that are on the streets motivating people and communicating to people. Just as one example, this is how sophisticated and local they are in this. My daughter, who is on the Lynchburg City Council, her Democrat opponent from the last campaign complained about her campaign finance and that he wasn't receiving money from outsiders or anything like that. His campaign was funded by a nonprofit called Rural Underground in Virginia that received its money from a nonprofit that is primarily funded by a Swedish billionaire.
Yeah, I remember that guy.
Yes.
Weiss is his name? What's his name?
That's right.
Yeah.
$60,000 in a ward race came through that way in Lynchburg. It's insane. Yet we keep ignoring it. Our consultants keep ignoring this because they don't make their money that way. They make their money through radio and television.
Phil, you're exactly right about this. This is a stunning description of what's going on in Virginia and around the country. Let me now go to the next step. We got about 4 minutes here. What can we expect? What violations of the rule of law can we expect from Attorney General-elect Jay Jones, and will we be able to push back against the violations of the rule of law that may be coming from Jay Jones?
Well, I do not think, Michael, that he will directly violate the law. Here's what voters and many are not familiar with relating to the Attorney General's office as well as your local district attorneys. You know, if I was sitting as a member of Congress and I had a good idea, I'd have to get over 218 of my colleagues to agree with me in the House and 51 senators, 60 to get by cloture, and then get it on the president's desk and have them either sign it or if they veto it, get supermajorities. That's not true with an AG or a prosecutor. They don't have to count votes. They decide. They can take a bad case and bring it to court anyway to punish an opponent. They can ignore a good case if it's of a friend or they don't believe it's politically palatable. This is what we are seeing with the Soros prosecutors across the nation. They're ignoring clear violations of the law because they've decided politically that the law should not be enforced. That's the power of a prosecutor. And that's how I expect Jay Jones to change the Attorney General's office. His priorities are much different than the priorities of Virginians. And we're going to see that through the choices he makes and where he allocates the resources of that office.
And I think that's a very good analysis of what we're likely to see. We're going to be looking at this. And my guess is if you're a Republican in the state of Virginia and you are a jaywalker, you will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. If you're a Democrat and you commit a felony, they won't pay too much attention to it. Your thoughts on that in our final minute, Phil Klein.
Well, we have seen some of that before regarding the Biden administration and the Department of Justice and its weaponization. Of course, it's somewhat of a concern of the focus of the Trump DOJ. If we cannot go down this path, it destroys liberty for everybody if those offices are used to target political opponents and to treat people differently under the law. That is a foundational breach with the founding of this country and its growth through the last 2.5 centuries. We have to not go down that path. But I'm worried that we are.
Phil Klein, what a great analysis on the ground in Virginia. Phil, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, when we come back, we're going to turn our attention to Memphis. State Senator Brent Taylor.
Now more than ever, it's imperative to support companies that share our conservative values. That's why I can't be more excited to tell you that I've switched my family to Patriot Mobile. Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you shift your support away from the leftist, woke, progressive agendas of Big Mobile. Patriot Mobile's wireless service works perfectly and seamlessly as you go about your lives with exceptional nationwide coverage that uses the same towers the main carriers use. Patriot Mobile donates a portion of every dollar earned to causes you care about, to organizations that fight for religious freedom, First and Second Amendments, sanctity of life, and the needs of veterans and first responders. Patriot Mobile has plans to fit any budget, along with great discounts for our veterans and first responder heroes, as well as multi-line users. Switching is easy. Just go to patriotmobile.com/Godzilla or call their U.S.-based customer service team, 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-728-7468. Use offer code Godzilla for free activation.
Did you ever stop and think, why do the wealthy pay less taxes than we do? One reason, they take full advantage of the IRS tax code. Today's tax code is over 2 million pages. Who can read that? Remember the 2016 debate with Hillary Clinton? When asked why he doesn't pay more taxes, President Trump had the perfect answer. He said, if you don't like the current tax code, change it. I follow the very laws that you wrote. That's where Julio Gonzalez and his company, Tax Engineered Services, comes in. Julio's team looks at your taxes after they're done, but before you file them with the IRS. He doesn't get between you and your accountant. He reviews your taxes, makes his recommendations, and only gets 5 to 10% of what he saved you. No money up front, no cost. It's tax literacy for MAGA. He also sees what grants you may qualify for. For more information, text ETS to the number 26786. That's ETS to 26786. Text now.
Feel like you're doing everything right but not getting ahead? Join Lifestyles Unlimited in Richmond November 8th and 9th for a 2-day seminar that shows you how to build income and wealth with real estate. Thousands have used these strategies to change their financial direction, and you'll see exactly how it's done. Text RADIO to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007 today. That's Richmond, November 8th and 9th. Text RADIO to 88007.
Is your pet ready for some pawsome fun? At Creekside Pet Hotel in Kennesaw, every day is a tail-wagging adventure. Whether they're romping with friends in day camp, enjoying a staycation in our cozy boarding, or getting pampered in our luxury spa, we make sure every furry guest gets the royal treatment. Happy pets, wagging tails, and the best care. What more could they ask for? Book your pet's perfect getaway today at creeksidepethotel.com or give us a call at 770-422-4700.
My fellow Americans, I have to tell you about my good friends at D.T. McCall & Sons. They have furniture and appliances and a lot more. They've been family-owned in Middle Tennessee for over 100 years, and they're not going to rip you off. No hidden charges, no delivery charges, no charges for all of the crazy things. These are sick people at the lumber yards. These are very sick people. They charge you for cords and hoses and haul off. They charge you for all of these things. They call them hidden charges. It's the type of surprise that you don't want to see. It's like an October surprise, but it's worse. D.T. McCall & Sons, they're not going to do that. They're great people. They're going to give you a great deal. With locations in Lebanon, Carthage, Lafayette, Cookeville, and Franklin, D.T. McCall & Sons will give you the deal of your life. Check them out today or go to dtmccalls.com.
Impersonator not endorsed by Donald Trump.
This is Michael Patrick Leahy. Join Rutherford County Mayor Joe Carr, Senator Marsha Blackburn, Congressman Tim Burchett, and Knox County Mayor Glenn Jacobs, and me at T-Bones and Politics 2025 on the evening of November 10th in Murfreesboro for a night of great food, good fellowship, and inspiring political speeches. Get your tickets now. They're going fast at tbonesandpolitics2025.com. This is a great annual event. This year, musical entertainment will be provided by the Tremolo Honey Band. If you haven't heard them before, they are absolutely fantastic. This special event is sponsored by Barrett Firearms, Old South SRM, Moody Excavating, Azure Flight Management, and SEC Engineers. So go right now to tbonesandpolitics2025.com and get your tickets for T-Bones and Politics. It's an evening of great food and fun on November 10th. I'll see you there. Paid for by Joe Pack, William Ronsley, Treasurer.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. We are delighted to welcome to our newsmaker line right now our very good friend, State Senator Brent Taylor from Memphis. Good morning, Senator Taylor.
Good morning, Michael. How are you? It's lovely down here in Memphis.
And it's lovely here in Middle Tennessee as well. It's just a beautiful day. And I think your Memphis Tigers now, they're in the top 25. I saw something because of the way the playoff system works. They might be able to make it into that round of 12 for the championship. Is that right?
I believe that's right. And it goes to show you that it is a new day in Memphis, from Memphis Tigers to our crime situation, and we're working on our education system. I had a meeting yesterday talking about our trying to do a school takeover of our beleaguered school system down here. It's a new day for Memphis, and we're excited.
So tell me a little bit about that, the potential takeover of the Memphis Public Schools.
Well, we have a school board that is incompetent, and people used to say that every village had one idiot, but it turns out that that's not exactly right. We've got a lot of idiots down here, and they seem to have all been elected to the school board in Memphis. And so
I knew you'd have some good zingers for us, Senator Taylor.
So what Mark White and I are looking to do, we're looking to really kind of set the elected school board to the side and appoint a professional board of business leaders so that they can turn the school.
I think we just lost you there a little bit. Are you back?
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good now.
So we're going to set aside the elected board and put in place a professional board that will turn the school system around, a professional board made up of business leaders. Let me give you one example of what I mean when I say that they're idiots. They bought a building for $6 million. The school board spent $33 million renovating it. and then the dumbasses turned around and sold it for $5 million.
Well, that sounds like typical Democrat economics.
Oh, that's right, and that's why we've got to set the school board aside and put in place a real turnaround team of business leaders that have run large organizations. So that's what we met with yesterday.
There must be some legal impediments to that, though, right?
Well, you would think, and we debated all of that when the bills made it through the House and the Senate. And by the way, we have passed two bills, one in the House, one in the Senate. They don't reconcile, so Mark White and I are going to work on bringing those bills to getting something moving through the legislature very quickly. And the legal analysis is that since the state created the school board, that they can change the school board.
Got it.
That's what the premise we're working on.
So you'll have to Mark White, the head of the Education Committee in the House, good friend, also a longtime teacher. Mark White and you are working together on legislation that, if passed in this session of the Tennessee General Assembly and signed by the governor, would allow for this kind of takeover you're talking about.
That's correct. And Michael, we need it down in Memphis. And I said last session on the Senate floor, I asked my colleagues, go home, ask your constituents what they know about Memphis, and they'll say three things: that they have good barbecue, have high crime, and bad schools. We don't need to mess with our barbecue. We're in good shape there. We're in the process of fixing our crime, and I hope we can talk about that.
Yeah.
And then the second thing is we got to solve our education issue. And if we can do all that at one time, Memphis will get on the same type of trajectory that Nashville saw several years back.
Well, let's talk about crime in Memphis. There's a poll, I don't know if you saw it, just came out at the Beacon Center of Tennessee, and I'll read it to you right now. 1,200 registered voters asked this question. Recently, President Trump announced he is sending the National Guard to Memphis to help local police address rising crime. Do you approve or disapprove of President Trump's decision to send the National Guard to Memphis? 63% of registered voters in Tennessee approve of that decision. Your thoughts on that, Senator Taylor?
Well, I will tell you, I just completed a poll here in Shelby County for my reelection next year. And in Shelby County, among registered Republican or against registered Republicans, and I know we don't have party registration, but among likely Republican voters, I should say, that approval rating was 89%. 89% of likely Republican voters in Shelby County approve of the National Guard and the task force being in Memphis. And it is making a difference, Michael. The crime rate, literally, serious crimes have been cut in half. I was just looking at the statistics this morning. Murders are down 50%. Aggravated assaults are down 48.5%. Sexual assaults down 56%. Robberies down 66%. Larceny down 40%. Motor vehicle theft down 70.6%. These are the kind of crime stats that will change our community. And I've been saying since I've been in the Senate, I've been working hard to make Memphis matter by making Memphis safe, and this will make Memphis a miracle when we're done.
Yeah. By the way, in that statewide poll on the National Guard in Memphis, Republicans overwhelmingly support it by plus 82%. Democrats, however, oppose it by a minus 49%. So that would, as an example, if it's minus 49%, it would be something like, 70% of Democrats support it, while, basically 21%, the 70% oppose it, rather, and 21% oppose it. That would be the minus 49. What are you seeing down there?
And that's consistent with some of our political leadership. But, in an era where you can be anything you want to be, I find it amazing that so many Democrats choose to be stupid. And
I think
it is making a difference down here.
I think many of them just start out that way and never change, right?
Well,
maybe there's a choice, maybe not.
I just know if stupidity was a disability, I know some folks down here that would get monthly checks.
Now you're up for re-election. Tell us what you're doing on the campaign trail.
Well, we're working hard. We completed this poll that shows that I'm stronger than an acre of garlic, and we look forward to being reelected next year. And I would be surprised if I had a primary opponent. Of course, we don't take anything for granted, but I will have a Democrat opponent. There's no doubt.
You will.
They hate me. They hate me down here.
Yeah.
And the lady that I ran against, Repeat Ruby, is her name. She looks like she may run again because she's kind of surfacing, making the rounds again. But I feel good about my chances. But we're not going to take anything for granted.
Yeah. What was the margin of your victory in 2022 in the general election?
Yeah, I won with 66% of the vote.
Okay, but
that outperformed the district. The district's actually about a 64% Republican district. So,
well, look, I think it's wise not to take anything for granted. Last night, the Muslim Marxist from Manhattan, Zoran Mamdani, was elected to be the mayor of New York City with 51% of the vote, 51-41. We just did a little summary of the voting by demographics. Turns out among those under the age of 30, 75% of New York City residents who voted in favor of Zoran Mamdani. You've got going on down there another Democrat, socialist / communist type, Justin Pearson, who is challenging Steve Cohen for the nomination for the Democrat side in the House there. To me, it looks like all the energy is with the crazy leftists. Your thought on this?
I think you're exactly right. And I thought it was interesting last night because I watched Mamdani's remarks after he won, and he went from being the happy Muslim to being the mad Muslim. And it'll be interesting how he governs. And
I thought it was a very nasty, angry speech.
I thought so too, and it's bad for New York, but quite frankly, I think it will be good for Republicans in the midterms because he is now the face of the Democrat Party, and the country will be looking at him and AOC, and quite frankly, the crazy wing of the Democrat Party, and I think that will actually benefit Republicans in the midterms.
So
as it relates to Justin Pearson.
Yeah.
I do believe that he stands a very good chance of defeating Steve Cohen. It's a different era. Cohen has always been able to turn back other candidates, black candidates in a majority black district. He's always been able to turn them away. But we're in a new era where that crazy wing of the Democrat Party is loud, vocal, and they're the ones that are turning up and setting the narrative and voting, and I think that is exactly up Justin Pearson's alley. So I think he stands a very good chance of defeating Steve Cohen.
And let me add this, with a hat tip to you on this one. Justin Pearson has something in common with the mad Marxist Muslim who is now the mayor-elect Mamdani of New York City. They both attended Bowdoin College, the elite college in Maine, at the same time. How about that?
You're telling me, you're making news. I did not know that, but that is interesting.
There you go. State Senator Brett Taylor, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate you.
Tom Papper joins us with this Beacon poll after this.
Each of us is born with 30 trillion cells that make us. These cells determine how we feel, perform, sleep, focus, and how long we live. And to live our best life, all we have to do is feed our cells properly. But most supplements don't reach our cells, keeping us from reaching our full potential. Make every cell count with Healthy Cell. Founded with a mission to empower people to take control of their own health at the most fundamental level, the cell. Dr. Vincent Giampapa, world-renowned cell researcher and medical doctor, created supplements that work at the cellular level to support immune health, better sleep, sharper focus, and healthy aging. Go to healthycell.com and use code GODZILLA for 20% off your first order of any product. That's healthycell.com, HEALTHYCELL, and use code GODZILLA for 20% off.
Hey folks, Al Green here for SatPhone. When you're on the go, you want to know you're connected. If it's a family vacation or an off-the-grid escape to a remote destination, having reliable communication helps you feel safe and secure. You can't afford to find yourself in a dead zone. That's why you need SatPhone. SatPhones are reliable, durable, and give you global coverage. If you can get outside, you can get in touch. It's that simple. Make calls from your SatPhone to any regular cell phone in the United States. The phones are $1,500 value, but you can get yours free. Just sign up for a 15-month plan, $94.95 a month. Get 150 minutes monthly that roll to the next month. Go 3 months without using them, that's fine. Yes, 3 months, 450 minutes, all yours. Visit SAT123.com or call 855-980-5830. SAT123.com, 855-980-5830. Get surety and security with your SatPhone. Call now.
Get in. We're stealing homes. We're not like those other home criminals that steal your stuff. We steal your hard-earned home equity. We find your property online from the public record. Got it. Create a deed transfer that makes us the homeowners. Got it. And borrow tons of cash against your equity, and you won't know till the foreclosure notice hits months later.
Just go to HometitleLock.com/Godzilla. Protect yourself.
The Cats and Cosby Show.
It's a common sense recap of the big stories.
Mandami visited a very controversial Brooklyn mosque just months after the imam there called for the annihilation of Israel. Your thoughts?
This is a total failure of the media, the journalists, and the Democratic Party to confront this kid with his own background. He's a rabid socialist.
Cats and Cosby, 5 Eastern, 4 Central on the John Fredericks Media Network.
He gave the finger to the Columbus statue.
Right. I can't almost think of any group he hasn't offended.
Hey there, it's Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of GlockStore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported our Second Amendment rights with GlockStore.com, the world's #1 source for Glock handguns, parts, and accessories. I also support accurate, unbiased journalism like The Michael Patrick Leahy Show. His team broke the Kilmar Abrego Garcia traffic stop and was the first to obtain that video. Independent journalism at its finest. Visit us at GlockStore.com, listen to Michael Patrick Leahy, and make America great again.
I flew 9 combat tours taking out terrorists.
Matt Van Epps, America First warrior.
When my Chinook took enemy fire, I kept her in the air, got our guys, and completed the mission.
Matt Van Epps, American hero.
Now I'm on a new mission to help Trump save America. I'm Matt Van Epps. I approve this message because I know what to do with terrorists. So these woke wannabes in Washington better take cover.
Matt Van Epps, the conservative warrior Trump needs.
Paid for by Matt Van Epps for Congress.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
We are joined on our newsmaker line right now by our lead political reporter at the Tennessee Star and the Star News Network, the one, the only Tom Papert. Tom, breaking story today that you've had a chance to take a look at. The Beacon Center of Tennessee has released a poll, and it asked this question, and I'd like to see if you can share with us the results of this question. Although the 2026 Republican primary election for governor of Tennessee is still far off, suppose the election were being held today, for whom would you vote? The choices were Marsha Blackburn, John Rose, or Monty Fritz. What are the results, Tom Papert?
Well, Michael, Marsha Blackburn has a commanding 49-point lead over her nearest opponent, which is, of course, U.S. Representative John Rose. He's polling at, I think, 7%. You also have, of course, Monty Fritz in the race, who is polling at 5%, 52 points behind the Senator Marsha Blackburn. I think at this point it is far and away Marsha Blackburn's race to win.
So what's interesting, the last poll, I think, had Marsha 62, John Rose 14, and Monty Fritz had not entered the race. This is what's really fascinating to me. John Rose is a member of Congress. He represents the 6th Congressional District. It covers, parts of Wilson County, parts of Davidson County, a number, like a dozen plus rural counties to the east of Nashville. Monty Fritz is a state representative. John Rose has spent about $5 million so far. I'm just guessing, but it's pretty close to that. Monty Fritz has spent about $5 so far. John Rose has gone down from the last poll. Marcia was, I think, 62. He was 14. He's lost 5 points. All of those points have gone to Marty Fritz, who spent $5 or so on it, maybe $5,000. I don't know, some number. I think in terms of cost effectiveness, it's not working out so well for John Rose. Your thoughts on this?
No, I don't think so. And John Rose seems like a very nice man. He has a beautiful family, but I just don't see the grassroots support. Marsha Blackburn has been in the state at a very high level and a very grassroots level at the same time, simultaneously, for decades now. She knows people in every corner of Tennessee, and I think people are excited to make her the next governor. And at the same time, Monty Fritz, a state representative, I think he is really tapping into a certain undercurrent of people who are looking for a different type of Republican Party in 2025. And meanwhile, John Rose, again, nice guy. I just don't see the case for his candidacy. I don't see how he is meaningfully different for Marsha Blackburn, or how he is going to tap into the sun never touches part of the grassroots, no offense to them, that Monty Fritz seems to do well with.
Yeah, exactly. And really, he has no issue, John Rose. And the one issue that's come up of late is the illegal gag order that denied by Judge James Boasberg, that denied Senator Marsha Blackburn her due process rights, for which Boasberg will likely be impeached. We've heard from Andy Ogles, Tim Burchett, Scott Desjardins, all saying Andy co-sponsored the articles of impeachment. John Rose has been silent on that. It's an issue that, what's he going to do? Say, oh, yes, I agree, Marsha Blackburn's due process rights were violated. That helps her. Or if he's silent, it helps her also, because he's not standing up for the rights of the United States Senator from Tennessee. Now, we've got another element of this poll. They talked to Democrats in Tennessee. Do you have a favorable or unfavorable view of socialism? What were the results of that poll question, Tom?
Michael, it's actually a very troubling and disappointing poll result. It's 54% of Democrats have a positive view of socialism, but somehow, inexplicably, this really shows a lack of education in this country. 21% of Republicans, 1 in 5 Republicans, say they have a favorable view of socialism. There's been a lot of talk over the past couple of weeks that what we saw last night in New York could not repeat in Tennessee. It could not repeat in the South, in the Midwest. That only works in these coastal elite big city Democrat dead zones. Well, I think that this poll shows that may not be true. We may see the Justin Pearsons and the Afton Benns outperform their expectations in Tennessee because people simply do not seem to understand what is at stake in this new battle, this rehash of the 20th century of communism versus capitalism.
And by the way, Beacon Center senior fellow Mark Cunningham said, quote, as politicians like Zoran Mamdani and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez gain national recognition, one of the most notable findings from the poll is a substantial support of socialism among Democrat voters in Tennessee. Now, this is a warning sign because we've got the Tennessee 7 special general election on December 2nd. There was a lot of energy on the far left communist side for Zoran Mamdani and Jay Jones, Attorney General there. They're going to take that, and they're going to try to turn out the vote for Afton Bain. Final minute, your thoughts, Tom Pappert.
That's absolutely the goal. And I would say even more concerning than Tennessee's 7th district is the 9th district, where next year the Democrats look to replace Steve Cohen with Justin Pearson, who is even further to the left, I think, than Afton Benn, if that's possible.
Yeah, and by the way, my prediction, he's a graduate of Bowdoin College, as is Zoran Mamdani. my prediction, Mamdani will come and campaign for him in Memphis. Tom, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Michael. Always a pleasure.
Up next is State Rep Johnny Garrett running for Congress in the 6th District. After the news, I'm Michael Patrick Leahy.
Ponder this. I was recently talking with a friend who said she was praying to God for her to accomplish big things. And by the way, this friend is currently reaching many through her writings and podcasts. But she wanted to